As the race for the 10th National Assembly leadership thickens, time also ticks. Meanwhile, the National Working Committee of the ruling All Progressives Congress has ratified the zoning formula proposed by President Bola Tinubu, although this is not without protest by aggrieved members of the party on the lopsidedness of the arrangement. The party also endorsed Tajuddin Abbas for speakership and Ben Kalu for deputy speakership. We turn now to public affairs analyst Isa Abubakar to discuss the undercurrents of the race for the Senate presidency and the need to balance party loyalty by lawmakers. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, the controversy that surrounded the choice of Senator Godswill Akpabio as the preferred candidate for the 10th Senate presidency has failed to subside, and we're seeing that the developments generating constant tensions among the senators elect. Now, we're also now hearing that the camps of Yari, Kalu, and Izunaso are planning an alliance that would produce a joint ticket. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this and how that relates to the direct defiance of the names that have already been turned in by the current president of our nation.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me put up an analogy to showcase the marginalization of the Southeast and a tiny stick of marsh ignited by a naughty playful child on a combustible object, which may develop into an inferno that could consume a whole village. But if an elder around will keep a watchful eye or rise immediately to put off the initial playful fire, it will save the whole village and the content therein. It is not fair that sometimes the youths of the Southeast, when they agitate, some people say they are violent. I want Nigerians to understand that if a man's wife is raped and the man reacts, the man cannot be said to be violent. What is happening? Let me take us back to the beginning of the Second Republic. During the Second Republic, a man, that was when we moved from the parliamentary system of government to the presidential system of government. A man from Cross River State, named Joseph Wires, was Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He finished from 1979 to 1983, he was Senate President. Some persons might think I will be wrong if I say that nobody from the Southeast has ever been Senate President. They will begin to think about Evan, the Okadibo, and the former SGF from Ebonyi State. I am Pius Ayim. If you look at it, all those from other regions who were Senate President completed their tenure. But nobody from the Southeast has ever become Senate, has completed his tenure. In this Fourth Republic, in June 1999, when Evan was sworn in as Senate President, after about 6 months, he was removed. Shuba Okadibo took over. He was removed after about 8 months. And then Ayim Pius Ayim, 3 people from one region. What does that show? It shows that people set up brothers against brothers and then blame them that they are not united. One man, which to the best of my knowledge, has the best academic credentials, more than any president since 1999 till date, and any Senate president since 1999 till date is Shuba Okadibo. But he was removed unceremoniously. That is why I say nobody from Southeast has been Senate President. This is because they have not been allowed to finish their tenure. And now, if the party, APC, zoned the Senate President to South-South, which has produced in this Fourth Republic, Vice President, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Deputy Senate President, I think that should be the height of injustice. And whenever there's injustice in the land, there can never be peace. And we value peace. We will always encourage the president and commander-in-chief, who is a Democrat, would believe that he will do what is right by zoning the Senate president to the southeast and giving it to the best man who is the highest ranking senator for now from both the south-south and the southeast, which is Senator Izunaso Osita. And that should be the position, and that is what Nigerians of good conscience are calling for.
Noted, and thank you for your sharing your perspective. We did have an analyst on Friday, I believe, and he basically stated that this should not be zoned, these crucial positions should not be zoned, that there should be a level playing field, because the choosing not to do that will lead to rancor. Now, based on that, do you see reason with, I know you're making a case for the Southeast, but do you see reason with those who might feel relegated to the background if in fact it is zoned?
I want to disagree with the analyst. This is because when the APC wanted to leave all the candidates, all the aspirants that were vying for the presidency at that time, the northern governors came collectively and said, no, the party ticket should be zoned to the south. And that helped in producing the current president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And in the case of the president, the South-South had produced president. But yet, the northern governors saw it that in the interest of peace and togetherness, that the presidency should go back to the south. And in this case, I am saying that, and it is correct that this republic, this fourth republic, nobody from southeast has been a vice president, and nobody from southeast has been president. In my own opinion, in order to placate the people of southeast, if the Senate presidency is zoned to the southeast, something should be given to them to placate them. Not only the Senate president, but we are not saying the Senate president should be given to the southeast just for the sake of giving it to them. No. Coincidentally, the best man at this moment, the highest ranking senator, the most competent based on the bills he has sponsored, based on his oversight functions and motions, is Senator Izunaso. This Senator Izunaso is the pioneer national organizing secretary of the All Progressives Congress. He was in the National Assembly from 2003 to 2007, 2007 to 2011. Not only that, Senator Izunaso was the chief press secretary to the then president of the Senate, also to the Speaker of Federal House of Representatives. Based on this, he remains the most experienced, and his actions over the years shows that he is the most capable. We need a man, not a rubber stamp Senate president. He has one quality going for him, which to the best of my knowledge, none of those aspiring for the position of Senate president are blessed with this. He is a man that believes in cooperation and not confrontation. A humble man, which when he served as the National Organizing Secretary, the party was peaceful. The office of the National Organizing Secretary is the engine room of any political party, because they coordinate the activities of primaries and all the grievances that political parties face results in most cases from the conduct of primaries. So with that, we are not just saying that give it to Izunaso. We are saying give it to him because he's the most competent and the highest ranking senator from Southeast and South-South. The record is clear.
Okay, I'm bringing it back to this because I feel like we didn't really tackle it when you asked the question earlier. You see, the national coordinator of the Tinubu-Shetima network in the last election, Alhaji Mohammed Kialani, is insisting, and this is making the rounds, that the former governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, remains the preferred candidate for the 10th Senate presidency seat, as religion cannot be a yardstick or qualification for the 10th Senate presidency seat. He noted that instead, the qualification for the next president should be based on zonal input in the last elections, which rated the senator who hails from the Northwest above other contestants. Now, my question to you is, how can lawmakers engage in constructive dialogue and negotiation to find a balance between party interests and constitutional requirements in the selection of the Senate president?
Thank you. That is why we talk about the capacity and experience. In order to balance this, we need a man that has the experience in party affairs, the experience in the legislature. And to the best of my knowledge, that man is Senator Izunaso, because if you talk about Yari, Yari was a former governor of Zamfara State. Yes, he was sometimes in the National Assembly in the House of Representatives, but he has never been in the Senate. Senator Izunaso was a member of House of Representatives, was in the National Assembly before Yari. Not only that, he has been a senator who has so many bills to his credit. Not only that, Yari has never held a position in the party, in the national. Senator Izunaso was National Organizing Secretary. So he will be able to balance all the interests in the party, in the National Assembly, and in the executive. This is because he has had the experience having gone for oversight functions as a legislator, as a member, as chairman, House committee, chairman of the House Committee on Housing and Urban Development, and chairman of Senate Committee on Gas. So he has all of these experiences going for him. So with this, he is the best man for the job because of these experiences. There will not be a conflict of interest in the National Assembly with the executives.
Noted. Now, of course, your focus is on...
Before you go, he said something that, to me, it is laughable. You cannot say that region should not be put into consideration. He comes from the north. I remember during the presidential election in 2015, my ward then was in Tukur, in Zaria. Then, it was seen as a sin for anybody to vote for President Goodluck Jonathan. Why? Why was it like that then? What changed? Because we believed then that we deserve the presidency, that Muhammadu Buhari is deserving of the presidency better than Goodluck Jonathan. We put into consideration region at that time. Why then will he say he was among those? We all supported President Muhammadu Buhari then because we believe that the North should produce the president.
Well,
what we are saying is
we're pressed for time, so I do have to come in here, please. Now, you are focusing on experience, but we do understand that a crucial meeting might have taken place yesterday at about 7 p.m., which also might have involved rep members from the Labour Party and the PDP. And it looks like it's being speculated that this is one of the ways the president is using to persuade the opposition lawmakers to support his nominees for the leadership of the two chambers. If this is in fact the case, how prepared are you to deal with this in order to ensure that your preferred candidate emerges? You're talking about experience. Looks like some strategies are going on in the background that, might not, the outcome might not necessarily be what you would like it to be.
This, what I am saying is the position of Nigerians with conscience. It is not just my position, because we are talking about justice, and anybody with conscience believes in justice. We are talking about justice here, and the opposition lawmakers will always, to the best of my knowledge, because they are men of integrity, like the lawmakers of the ruling All Progressives Congress, they will do what will be good for the country in order to move the country forward. What we are saying is that they don't give the youths of the Southeast reasons to continue to protest. What if we don't take the Senate president to the Southeast? What it means is that it's like a gang up against the people of the Southeast. They do not make themselves Igbos. And being Igbos should not be a reason why there should be a gang up against them, because that is what the average Igbo man will feel. Because there is no justifiable reason to show that any other region is deserving of the Senate president at the moment. There is none. All other zones have been accommodated. Why should it be only the Southeast all the time that will not be accommodated, that will be marginalized in positions of this country, when we have capable people from the Southeast? That is just what we are saying. We are talking about justice.
Thank you so much, Public Affairs Analyst Isa Abubakar, for joining us and, of course, discussing the undercurrents for the race of the Senate presidency.